Hello there, dear viewer. I'm doing something new. Hopefully a new series of videos about history. I'm going to combine gaming with education. Sounds like something your teacher would think is cool and you would just yawn and, nod. But I will try it nonetheless. It may be kind of nice. This is a mod for Mountain Blade Warband. Mod is called 468 AD and in fact takes place in 468 AD. This is my favorite period of history, late Antiquity, early Middle Ages, the dawn, or rather the dusk of the Antiquity and the dawn of the Dark Ages. Dark Ages cannot have a dawn, they are dark. Anyway, this is what I'm going to do. I am going to play the game, and a bit of the video, a first part of the video will be a normal kind of let's play. Then I will speed things up, and as the things are going up at twice the speed or thrice the speed, I will talk to you about a specific issue related to this period of history, the late Antiquity. I think it is severely underrated and underexposed in our education and popular culture period of history, which just begs for more exploration. There will be links to some reading materials down below. There will be a lot of hopefully progress in the gameplay and a lot of progress in the knowledge, and it should be just about fine and a good thing to at least try doing. Of course, I am not a professional historian, keep that in mind, because I'm not, but I am very, very much interested, and it is a part of my hobby to read on this specific era. So I am probably above average as far as the knowledge about this period goes, but keep in mind that some things I may have to say are maybe dated or not very precise. That's why I will be giving you some reading material down there. Right, I am in Ravenna, which is the capital of the Western Roman Empire at this point. No, it's not Rome. Hi, the education bit already started, you see? Yes. And in Ravenna, I actually, you see, the mod is quite well done. It will be a little bit, it is a little bit vanilla. There are a lot of features that most of the modern Warband mods have that this mod doesn't have. But I still think it's a good thing to try it. It's something different to Britain-Walda, which is another closely related in terms of historical period mod, but it takes place only in Britannia, whereas here we have the entire map of Europe and in Northern Africa, I believe. Yes, look. All of this, the Eastern Empire, the Western Empire, which should probably be already a little bit smaller than this, but I'm not entirely sure. And we have are these the Franks? No, these are Visigoths, of course. I would think that Visigoths were already invading Spain at this point in time, but maybe I am wrong. Maybe I have to refresh my memory on that. And this is the something called the domain of Swasom. This was actually not directly ruled by the Western Roman emperors. It was ruled by Roman dukes, so to say, a duke or a governor, which was semi-independent at that point in time because he was, separated from the main Western Empire lands. But here in the mod we will have it as a part of Western Roman Empire. We have this, Saxons. They also didn't have one kingdom at that point. There were 3 or 4 or 5 kingdoms of Saxons, Anglo-Saxons, being established in Britannia. And there are Romano-Britons, which also were not exactly one faction, but some simplifications are needed for the sake of the mod, because the scale is such that some factions wouldn't even make it to the game if you did it faction by faction, kingdom by kingdom. These are Picts, obviously, over there in the north. Unfortunately, my homeland, well, Poland did not exist at that point in time, but, you know, some Slavs did, probably, somewhere around here, or maybe already here, or maybe more to the east. Who the hell knows? But some Slavs existed. They are unfortunately not the part of the mod, which is a pity. And neither are any of the Nordic peoples that could be an interesting addition. Only pretty much only the former lands of the Roman Empire are covered, and the Second Persian Empire, the Sassanid Empire there. So you can see, oh yeah, and the Vandals, of course, most importantly, importantly, the Vandals here in Carthage and northern Africa. Yes, and what do we... here are the Swabians, or Swabii? Yes, come on, show me. Yes, Swabii, and the smallest faction, I believe, it's not Alemanni, it's these guys. These guys, the Kingdom of Rugii, which were the Germanic tribe, I believe, of Odoacer, the Germanic Roman leader who deposes the last Western Roman emperor, not a decade later, 8 years later, 476, which is the agreed upon date of the fall of the Western Roman Empire. Although it's not that simple. There was another emperor sent from the east who resided here, Julius Nepos, and of course it wasn't actually a fall, because what actually formally happened, it was that the empire was reunited. It just wasn't able to re-establish direct rule on these parts, but formally what happened is that the Emperor of Constantinople got the insignia and the crown of the Western Empire, and was therefore the sole ruling Roman Emperor. Unfortunately, we are several decades before the times of Belisarius, not Belisaurus, no, Belisarius, who tried at under the leadership and the rule of Emperor Justinian, tried to re-establish the Roman rule in these western lands, and which of course is my very, very favorite time of my very favorite time. But as far as I know of the kind of good average games, average and above games, the only one that actually covers Belisarius is the Total War Attila add-on DLC called The Last Roman. And maybe one day I will do a playthrough of that. So we also... Oh yeah, and I forgot about the Gepids, Gepida, as they're called here, which maybe my go-to faction. Well, it would be very funny to join this faction, the Rugii, as they are kind of, sort of responsible for the fall of the Western Roman Empire in some sense. And they are actually hailing from this little island here, which I visited 2 years ago, I believe, in nowadays Germany, the island of Rugion. And as the name suggests, the peoples of Rugion are Rugii, and they had quite a lot of walking to do from here to here. Anyway, yes, let's maybe stop with the introductions and think of the plan for our character, whom I named Belisaurus, although he is actually Germanic, not Roman. Judging by the looks, at least, he is Germanic. Yes, and this is his stats. I am very sorry. Well, it's a pity I have this low of agility, but we will work on that. Of course, we will pump it up, and I focused mostly on the combat things and looting. I need to rename him. Is it possible? Probably not so much. Anyway, well, let's say he has a Latin name because he had a Latin mother, maybe? Yes, he is a mixed kind of son of a Roman aristocrat, and maybe a Germanic aristocrat, maybe a Rugian aristocratic woman, and that is why He probably would like to serve. He can serve Rome. He can serve the barbarians, the other guys, whatever he feels like doing. The Western Roman Empire is in a lot of trouble currently, so maybe we should consider joining some other faction. But still, we need people in our warband. We need money. We need better gear. So. I think I will see what I can pick up in Ravenna as far as quests go. And then maybe I will join an army. This feature actually, I believe, is covered in this mod. You can join an army as a soldier. That would be very, very cool. An easy way to get some good equipment early. Let's go back to the streets of Ravenna, actually, because I need to find the guild master. Unfortunately, yes, as I said, some of the things will be rather vanilla in this mod, and the towns, the cities' locations are done brilliantly, very, very carefully, very detailed thing. But for example, you still have to look for the guild master to get some quests from him, and that's not great. That is actually a little bit of a boring task, because in this game not much is going on in the cities, and of course with this mod the cities are much bigger than than they would normally be. So okay. Horse is obviously too expensive for me. But nice to know there is a horse mentioned in Ravenna. Yeah, not much going on here. You are a weaponsmith. I can look up all your stuff from the menu. Oh, this looks like a guild master. What a nice place. Yeah, it makes me want to serve the Romans. Actually, we will see. Hello, Guildmaster. Do you happen to have a job for me? You're looking for a job? Actually, I was looking for someone to escort a caravan. Perhaps you can do that. I don't have any people to escort your caravan. I'm going to send a caravan to Neapolis. That's relatively nearby, still in Italy. However, with all those bandits and deserters on the roads, I don't want to send them out without the escort. If you can lead that caravan to Neapolis in 15 days, you will earn 81 dinars. Dinars? I believe is skillingi or something is the currency of the mod. Of course, your party needs to be at least 9 strong to offer any... Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I don't have any party. Goodbye then. Can I recruit anything in the cities? Not really, my friends. Harumph, I say. Right, I know. We will go to Patavium and try to recruit people there. Or maybe Placentia. Oh, no. Okay, these are just men hunters. They are not hostile. They are hunting. They are actually hunting the hostiles. Really? I need more renown. How do I get renown? Maybe... Actually, I should join the Emperor's army. No, not the Emperor's army, no. I need to find someone who is actually leaving the Empire from time to time, getting outside to conquer. Maybe there is a way for me to see if anybody is at war with anyone. For example, if I were to join the Rugii, no outstanding. Yeah, truce, no issues with anyone. So maybe actually the Visigoths. Maybe I could serve I would like to serve the Gepidae. There is a lot of things to tell about all of these tribes. I will reserve it for the educational segment later on. Maybe in another episode, actually, because today's educational segment will be a general introduction to late antiquity. I may not have the time to speak of tribe by tribe as I would like. So, are they at war with anyone? Not really, not so much. I guess in that day and age, the best way of getting some money was to join, for a person like me at least, was to join Romans, at least for a while. I will see if there's anybody in Narbo for me to join an army, because I know the Emperor will be probably staying near his lands, in his lands. So let's go to Narbo very carefully to avoid all the bandits. I don't think I can... Yeah, why though? Do I need to do some silly quest for a village? The village quests are the most boring of all. These are deserters. I do not wish to meet them now. Thank you. Federati camp. A Federati camp. Federati was a term used for the barbarians in the service of the Roman army, basically. And they weren't exactly considered the part of Roman military. They were semi-independent, but they were paid like mercenaries. But they also had other, what would you say? I forgot the word in English. Other numerous, other. No, I'm not going to fight you. They had other duties. Yes. They had auxilia palatinos. No. Can I actually hire? Oh, a recruiter, of course, a recruiter. I wish to recruit some of your men and gather available. All right. So now this is expensive. This is expensive. And this is expensive. I don't really have any money for mercenaries. Well, that's already a pickle. I have to join an army then. Where the hell is any leader, Roman general, who would like to beat some Visigoths with me? Let me see. There's a dukes in here. Approach. Request entry. Continue. Lord's Hall. Yes. So you are the Dux Tonantius Feriolus the second. I did not know your father. I didn't know that you are the second. So, Tonantius, I am Belisaurus, at your service, sir. I am Dux Tonantius, a vassal of Western Roman Empire. Vassal is a very unfortunate wording for this period, but I guess that's because it's a mod for a more medieval-oriented game. Okay, so you are the governor, so to say, of Narbo. I have not heard of you. Yes, you haven't, but you have the look of a man who might make something of himself someday. Okay, that's nice of you to say, I guess. I would like to enlist in your army, sir. I've got room in my ranks for a man of your disposition, Belisaurus. I can take you on as a Roman militia with a weekly pay of 70 silique. Silique. Okay, that's the currency. Don't do the dinar thing anymore, silly guildmaster. And food, of course, plenty of room for promotion. Oh God, this sounds like a sales pitch. Oh, amazing opportunities! Join the army today. The propaganda bit, right? And you will be equipped as befits your rank. You'll have your take of what you can scavenge after a battle too. That's nice. I say, seems fair. Yeah, I'm with you, my lord. So let's just hope something will happen now. I've lost relationships even with the Eastern Roman Empire. Really, they should be in cahoots. They should be very friendly. They should be, Fui. I will stop speaking now. They should be full of joy that I help their Western provinces. And whatever, I'm going to leave and hope to God that anything will happen with this lord. Alright, and our first battle should be easy enough. We are fighting some bandits with our lord at a command, yeah, follow the leader into the battle. Yeah, 18 bandits. That should not be a problem. I may not be able to deal any damage, actually. Unfortunately, this is how late Roman foot soldier looks. Not very impressive, I know. Silly hat. And some of the guys will look better, I think. Yeah, some of the guys are better equipped, of course. The Auxilia Palatina and some Equites and some other guys. The Limitane. Can I at least be a Limitaneus? You know, that would be nice. Yeah, our cavalry will probably destroy all of them. These are just looters. Yeah, not much for me to do here, I don't think. But I will go. I will run forward anyway. Yeah, they are almost all destroyed. They are probably panicking already. Okay. At least we get to see nice landscape of Spain. I believe we are in Spain now. Yes. We are in Spain, hunting down brigands. Oh, yeah. Comitatensis. Can I be a comitatensis, please? That would be good. I have 2 different axes, and that's it. No, I do not want to retreat. Yeah, we won! Yay, hooray! Well, that was disappointing. No casualties. Good to see you here. Yeah, of course I am here. I'm your soldier. And I can capture a looter? Thank you, no. Right, let's take everything. We can sell this later. And now we are close to Narbo in Gaul and hunting down another band of brigands, I believe. Oh yes, this will be pathetic again. Great. They changed my outfit. Okay. Oh, gosh, I am slow. Not agile at all. Pseudo-comitatensis. Pseudo-comitatensis. Can I get any better? Can I get some better gear, finally? This is pathetic. Look how much faster everybody is than me. Oh, well, you know, you have to make some effort in the beginning, and then it will just get better and better, I'm sure. I have a little knife, a rather slow knife. I don't think anybody would use that instead of an axe if it doesn't have any speed advantage. Well, they already killed 2 of our guys though, so these must be some mighty bandits. Super bandits. Oh, the super bandits are running. Bandits? Hobbitses? The bandits are running. Everybody is screaming as usual. Well, that was easy. I can already advance. I got a promotion and some some money. So, yeah, Roman Limitaneus is my new rank. I've got the armor I previously had. Alrighty then. Let's see if I got anything useful, anything else. I've got a hasta. Hasta is a kind of a polearm. I have a big axe. I have bent javelins. Should I use my hasta? And I kind of want to switch to this. TBH. Yeah, this is much better. This is my helmet. So 15, 17, 20, 29. So yeah, I don't need a hasta then. I can use my almost useless javelins. Okay then, let's see what's next. Return to duty. Whoa! Okay, this can be absolutely terrifying. I can lose some money, I can lose a lot. My lord can lose. Poor Tolontius, there is a lot of Vandals. They were looting the villages on the east coast of Spain, and us and the other lord, the other Roman general, attacked them. Let's try it. Oh, I don't see it happening. The first battle with the Vandals taught me that they are rather tough. If they have all the cavalry, then we are kind of messed, touched in the butt. I will see. I will see. Let's see what happens. If we lose, well then. The problem is I have a horse that I would like to keep. We have -1 battle advantage. Let me just stay. I also think the grip on this spear is off. I should be grabbing it more in the middle of the shaft. But maybe this is how the cavalrymen of the day held their spears. And the game engine just doesn't understand the difference between the infantrymen and cavalrymen when it comes to gripping weapons. Alright, it's not too bad. I did some damage, still did not kill anyone. You. Okay, let's not. Die, you vandal, filthy savage! Yes, my first kill. Right, let's go back to the boys. Let's go back to the boys. Come on, boys. Yeah, there is another one. Right, another kill for me. Who's this? Oh, I hear that Rome Total War music. You will not fool me, mod. I know this is Rome Total War. Oh, that was painful. That was a tad painful. Right, another Vandal slain. Their own infantry is coming. The Vandal infantry. Guys, I'm sorry for leaving the formation. What is the battle size? I feel like they are coming in very small waves. I may need to change the battle size here. Alright, our cavalry is coming. Good. We needed that. They are just in time. Whoa! Oh, this is scary. I'm not gonna lie. I may need a new shield soon. Right. Guys, where are you? What? Okay, there is another Dux. There is a Dux with us. Come on, my lord. Show them what's what. Keep breathing, Billy, keep breathing. It will be all over soon. These shields are really annoying me. Yeah. That is okay. Okay, we are surrounding them. We have horse archers, really. Well, that's a peak of late ancient technology. Warfare. Oh, this ain't good. Alright, this horse, I am almost dead. Yeah, that may be my last stand, alright. I mean this, not that. And this horse is not doing me any favors. Right, I'm going to dismount. I need to stay with the shield formation, shield wall. Oh, more vandals coming from the side, I believe. I think I have to stay back and just swing if I absolutely need to. Well, these guys have heavier armor. Oh, I advanced a level. Okay, we are moving backwards to join with the reinforcements. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I need to change the battle size. This is on a very small size. But yeah, it seems to be working though. We have a lot of good high-level soldiers with us here, and they don't seem to. So we may still stand a chance. Yeah, look at the kill count. Look at this. Oh, I'm so proud of you guys. I'm not even the leader here. Ouch. Rude animal. All right. Yeah, we won. Judging by the little win meter in the top left corner, we won. Huh? What a pretty sky. Oh, just look at this. This is what I like in this game. All the weapons that were thrown at you during the battle stick. Whoa, I survived a lot. Now this was my first proper, solid, good battle. I wish there was a shield bash in this mod, like in Britain Walda. Oh yeah. Well, there's 67 of them left. I will do it. I will charge with my boys, with my comrades. But I will have to be very cautious here because I may die. I will just try to be supportive, stick to the back of the formation, and try to be very supportive if I have to. This is the plan. I would like to go through this battle relatively unscathed. Yeah, boys, are we moving? Are we moving? Does anyone know what is the plan of action here? Alright. Yeah, I agree. I generally agree with the sentiments being shouted. Okay. Alright, they are not too keen on attacking us. There's an occasional missile, a projectile flying our way. I have to stay behind. Are we really doing... Who lost his shield already? That's pathetic, guys. Okay, but we have horse archers. They actually should have some horse archers too, these vandals, if this mod is historically accurate. Okay. Well, they certainly have horses. Not so sure about horse archers. They certainly have some darn horses. It's very hard to fight with a long spear. Don't stand up. As you were, sir. Who thrown that? That was cool. Thank you. You. Ow, ow, ow. You seem to be a little bit... Ow. Okay, I was not as careful as I originally planned. But I think I will just observe and wait. This should be won, soon-ish. Yeah, there's 32 of them left. 30. Do we have 29? Can I see 29? 29, 27. All right. This will be won, I'm quite sure, by the brave Romans. Yeah, some of them are already running. If I were these archers, I would soil my undergarments. I would run like a baby. I mean, babies can't run because they can't walk. And you can't run if you can't walk, obviously. But now they are doing whatever I needed them to do. Yes, yes, brave Roman soldiers. Triumphant. Now that really boosted my morale. Right, I was wounded, but Dux Olybrius, I know this name from something. Olybrius. He certainly did something important in that time period. And my name is Belisaurus. And he is glad to meet me. That's lovely. Unfortunately, yeah, the Vandal leaders are running away. A sword! A proper sword! Yeah, it's much faster. This deals theoretically more damage, but this is much faster and has a much better reach. So obviously, and I can thrust with this too, so that's good with the shield and the tight spots. And I have some boots. I do not need to do anything else here. I have a crude Spangle helm, which is a Germanic type helm. Although this time period, I believe it was already kind of mixed. Right, now I have to go to a city. Let's go to Toletum, which is of course nowadays Toledo in Spain, and see if and what can be done. And these are rooted, they are running. Right, great. I need to sell some stuff. Oh. Okay. Maybe I should start recruiting some guys of my own. Start my own band. I could probably destroy these bandits if I have some soldiers with me. Okay, I did it. I can recruit volunteers in the city now. But I need more renown. Probably I already have enough for village recruitment. Well, we will see. Well, kind of most importantly, I forgot to rest in that city. And I need to advance. That's the most important thing. So athletics, perhaps. Yeah, I need 1 point in athletics to be able to catch up with my comrades on the battlefield. You can take a look at my stats. I have a lot of leadership, which is because I have a noble background in the character creation, and I will definitely therefore have to start being a leader sooner or later. Well, the game would be extremely boring without it anyways, so yeah. But the polearms... Let's go with the polearms and some more expertise in throwing. Alright. This may be interesting. Well, we have the advantage of numbers, although the Vandals are besieging one of our southern Hispanic towns, the New Carthage, I believe, Carthago Nova. So we'll see if anybody else joins that problem and that conundrum. Now, this little side battle should be won by us. Is my athletics showing? Maybe, kind of. What are you guys? You are the actual comitatenses, right? I need your helmet, dude. I need a helmet like yours. Maybe at the next promotion, right? Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, and the Rome Total War music. It's hard to decide which ones are Vandals. Ow! The ones hitting me. That's easy. Oh, it's good to have a sword. Huh! Ah, yeah, that's a much better weapon, much faster. Alright, guys, I forgot to change the battle size setting. That's a shame. Never mind, I will do it after this. Okay, okay, a horseman. A horseman was dehorsed. And that was not my kill, unfortunately. They are pathetic, those vandals, aren't they? Filthy barbarians, we are the proper civilized people here. Yes, yes, yes. I was totally not scared shitless before. Whenever they had at least a slight numeric advantage. That was absolutely not the case. Right? Is that the leader on the horse over there? How? Yeah! Huh? Ouch! Ha! Ouch! Yeah, they are running already. Yeah, I know, you like me. You really like me. And my relationship with the Western Roman Empire have risen, and this guy was captured. Yeah, absolutely, you are my prisoner now. Vandal cavalry. I don't know if I have any slave merchants or the like. Oh, and again, a lot of stuff. Is it because I have looting? Yeah, I put some points in looting. I wanted to say perked, but this is not Skyrim, so it didn't really fit. And my brain started to hurt. But okay, yeah, I'm picking a few more things. And another level! Return to duty? Yeah, but this is not good. We should not be here on our own. Although if we join the besieged force, the garrison force, after they attack, we may stand a chance. Although this is the king. Ooh, King Geiseric. This was one of the most fundamental and decisive characters in that period. King Geiseric of the Vandals. Let us hope there will be some time to talk about him in one of the educational segments in the future, because this dude was really Napoleon, exactly, just like Napoleon of that time. He was. It is a pity that nobody knows about him. That's all I'm going to say for now. All right. Okay. Another point in agility, because otherwise I will feel pathetic. Then maybe Iron Flesh, actually, or Power Throw. Certainly some expertise in thrown weapons. Oh, okay, so how many guys in total? 60 plus 162. Oh my, 162, 369. 69, the most funny number, because we are all 12-year-olds basically. So 369 and 400 people over there. Dude, go home. You do not stand a chance. We need the Emperor's army here. And I fear we won't get it. That is not great. Vandals attacking. I think they already had it, actually, at this point in 467. The southern Spain. Although maybe they lost it briefly. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not quite sure. I wonder if I can take down 9 looters on my own. They don't really have weapons. They have stones and sticks. So maybe, now that I have a horse and a decent bit of armor and decent shield, let's see. Where are you, little kitties? Oh, I hear your screams. so far, they are the screams of battle excitement, let's call it. And I missed you. Not in the nice sense that I kind of longed for your company. I did not realize where exactly are you. Yeah, they have stones. This is not the most maneuverable horse. I can't really do it when I am completely blinded by trees. Right, that's another one. Yeah. Guys, you shouldn't be attacking a Roman soldier, actually with a proper war-hardened Germanic genetic composition in your shirts and silly Smurf capes. Capes? Hats. They don't have silly Smurf capes. Smurfs wouldn't use a cape anyway. Come on. That was another looter dead. Nice block, dude. Ooh. Nice steel waist, I guess. Alright. Hey. Hey. And here is my leader. Leader? My leader. Ooh, I am rejoining him just in time. My lord, I am ready to return to your command and kick some Visigothic arses. Absolutely, yes. Or Vandal arses? Or whatever arses you prefer to kick, my lord. If you'd like to, for example, kick some Frankish arses, I would advise against that, but I would still do it if you asked. You know, not my thing to decide really. If you'd like to kick some Saxon arses, very good indeed, very good idea. Any barbarian arses basically, and rebel arses, and I will stop talking now. Follow the commander into battle, which is greatly in our favor. So charge. Right. I am still a little bit too slow for these fellas. Yeah. Now we are kind of setting up a formation. Now we are getting into formation, into ranks. I get it, guys, I get it. You are a little bit overzealous back then. Okay. Nice Smurf hat. Cavalry is doing a little bit of a harassment, which is horrible, of course. They will be Me Too'd very soon. Come on, go for your Me Too moment, boys. Harass them. Oh, they have no chance at all. These are just bandits. I hope for some proper barbarians, but these are just bandits. Ha! Level 4. Hello, you barbarian scum. Almost. Aye. These thrown weapons are not very accurate, unfortunately. which is historically accurate that they are inaccurate. I think actually they were much more accurate. I don't think the main and the best weapons, thrown weapons of this period are actually shown in the mod. Nevertheless, we've won. My lord, a farmer? Not really. When will the Vandals try to pay up and get his general back? It would be much appreciated if they did. Return to duty? Oh, who's this? Oh, I kind of felt asleep, almost waiting for something to happen, and I don't know what is. Oh, oh, and I cannot leave now. I will be. This is a king. Is this the king of Alamans, for instance? Are they raiding Italy? Really? This is really audacious. This is... I hate you. I hate you, barbarians. I mean, I am a barbarian, kind of. That I will hate you now. I will hate you now. And I'm terrified. How many of them? Yeah, there's over twice as many as us on the battlefield at any given moment. I don't see this going well. Could we at least stand over there on the top of that hill? This is not a great placement, Talentius. What are you doing? Tell us to go up there. Over there. On the ridge, we could win this, we could... Oh my, I will probably leave this dude after this. I will so much leave him. You go, you take the top. You need the high ground, dude. And why exactly do you need us to run back and forth? That's another tactical question I have. Never mind. I don't know if I will have the patience to earn another rank if this goes like this. What a very calming and nice music, actually, given the circumstances. There's a king of a very filthy, smelly Germanic tribe against us. There's twice as many of them as there is of us. They have a lot of banners. Holy moly. By the way, it's a pity that this mod doesn't... I said holy, and that reminded me. This mod doesn't cover religion in any shape or form, in any feature, which is very weird for this period, because you would say that this is actually the most important things that were going on at this point, the most, influential, substantive things that altered the future the most were related to religion. So it's a little bit weird to have a game set up in this time frame and have nothing to do with religion. Anyway, these guys look a little bit lazy and scared. They don't want to attack us head on. I don't know why. I should have taken my long spear. It's too late now. They have nicer scabbards than I do. I don't like it. They have a kind of nice dark brownish scabbard, and mine is... Oh, I don't have a scabbard because there's an axe on my side. Oh, I see. If I have this, then I also don't have a scabbard. Interesting. Okay, This is a very important thing to think about when you are close to death, close to your death. These arrows, really, dude, you've let them take the high ground and now it's all over, you know. Should I try to provoke them into an attack, maybe? Maybe this would do something good for this battle? The second I get too close, I will probably die. But it's probably better and a little bit more interesting than waiting for my death down there. Oh! I see how this is going now. I understand. I don't think I can tell anyone to charge. No, I can't. Wasn't able to actually hit anyone. Yeah, they have shields up. They are in the formation. We are in the formation. This may take a while. They unfortunately have the high ground, so I really don't know what we are still doing in here. And why did my lord decide to join this battle? Did my lord decide? Not. You don't need double past tense, belly. Oh! Oh, look. I can go War Spear. I thought that this is unavailable when I am a soldier, but apparently I was wrong. That's okay. That's a-okay. Will they ever come, you think? This is really, really, really tiresome. I feel a little bit, you know, like an outsider. I don't look the part too much. I have a different chainmail than they. Alright. Dudes. That was a good idea. Let's go. Let's do it. If we have to die, let's die with, you know, some resemblance of courage. Come on. Come on. Yeah, go, Romans, go! Who are you? You are dead. That's what you are. That's a daft horse. Let's kill some Alemanni. Like this one. Let's run. Everybody is taking damage. Nobody wants to just fall and die. Oh my. Well, I am about to die. They really take a lot of hits, these guys. Whoa, we were slaughtered here this day on this battlefield. Okay. That was not good at all. Our second wave is doing something, though. Can I slay the standard? That's our standard bearer, actually. So slaying him would be not really advisable. Alright. That's another barbarian. Okay, this dude is good. This dude is a good, proper swordsman. Oh, Scheiße. There is so many barbarians here. Is anybody willing to help me? Okay, is there a shield anywhere for me to pick up? New enemies have arrived, of course. Come on. Alright. We have some cavalry. I believe we have some cavalry advantage, maybe even. Are these Goths? I thought they were Alemanni. Oh my. And it looks like these are Goths. And the Goths are to be afraid of. Truly. Alright, maybe we will be able to at least do as much damage as we can before we go. That would be nice. Alright, there's another horseman slaughtered. Okay, infantry incoming. Whoa, this guy looks properly armored. Whoa! All their archers in one wave. Get off your horse! Ooh. Oh no, 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 no. I am dead. I'm so dead. That was obvious it will happen at some point. How many of us is dead? A lot. Well, most of us are wounded. Half of us are wounded. We're half dead. We took as many as we lost, I think. More or less. But it's not enough. It's definitely not enough. And I feel like this wave is stronger, better armored. Against mainly light infantry and archers. So it is basically a foregone conclusion, unfortunately. Well, at least I don't need to spend money. Alright. Well, at least I know... Ooh, Theodoric the God. That's another crucial character of this little story. Oh, these were Ostrogoths. Ostrogoths, of course they would attack Italy. I kind of hate you guys. I lost my Vandal Princeling. You filthy... Never mind, let's advance a level. Let's get another rank of athletics. Let's get some throwing. Maybe some polearms actually as well. Let's get to Ravenna. And let's say this is enough for now. Let's go to the fast-paced... let's go to the history segment for now. And my further progress will be, of course, shown on screen, and we will go with the game in the background. And today's history segment will be about, well, the general introduction to the period, because, as I said, and as we all know probably, and as we all, well, not all of us certainly, but as I am very angry about, this period is really not very well covered in schools or anywhere else. So let's try to do our best to describe it. Let's go. So let's start with the basics and the time frame of the period known as Late Antiquity, Late Roman Empire, sometimes also deemed to be the introduction to the Dark Ages, or being exactly the same as the Dark Ages, which are sometimes confused with the entirety of the Middle Ages. And they are not exactly the same, but they are kind of the early Middle Ages, although that's something slightly different. History is very complicated. But the period spans, let's say, from the time of the Roman Emperor Diocletian in 280s to the rise of Islam near the end of 7th century AD. It is a time that has been almost entirely eradicated from our education systems and culture, to the point of no longer really being a part of collective memory of the Western peoples. Which is very sad, of course, to me. You can still encounter sometimes the various laments over the decline of Roman civilization, the horrors of endless barbarian invasions, and the rise of the supposedly superstitious religious thinking, repressing the true and pure pluralistic, well-balanced and more or less rational/intellectual culture of the classical era. A lot of that, as I hope I am about to explain, is a simplification based on the inevitable axioms of the enlightened European intellectuals of the 18th and 19th centuries. In other words, it's a little bit rubbish. I think the period is greatly misunderstood. As misunderstood as an emo, non-binary, historically marginalized Arthur Fleck. There was a lot of pretty decisive shite going on in the centuries between Diocletian and the Arabic invasions, and even some technological advancements, like the parchment codex books, construction of the largest domed building before the completion of St. Peter's Basilica in Rome in the Renaissance, the introduction of a stirrup, the thingy that you put your feet in when you sit in a saddle on a horse. This is sometimes thought to be a Chinese invention, but it was likely invented in the Central Asian steppes and then spread both to China and westward to the Gothic and Roman lands. The Roman Empire was split into two empires, of which only one survived the turmoil of the age. New kingdoms arose from the ruins and ashes of the Western Empire. A religion of slaves became the dominant religion of kings and emperors. The bustling and industrious cities of the ancient world were gradually abandoned. The structures of state eroded. The local governments and municipalities regressed into tribes and gave way to the rise of feudalism. The days of the Emperor Justinian witnessed some of the most exhausting and destructive wars in ancient history, as well as one of the biggest city riots in Constantinople. At roughly the same time, the so-called Justinian plague caused severe depopulation. Even the climate changed, accelerating the migrations of northern and eastern European peoples, causing even more chaos in the Roman lands. Everything from everyday life to philosophy to architecture to religion to warfare undergoes some deep and often dramatic changes, so I have no hope of even touching all the important subjects. But that's okay. The goal of my talks is to give you a newbie guide to the problems of late Roman Empire, give you an overview of an issue, provide a bunch of links in the description, and then send you off on your merry way to do your own research. Do your own research, kids. I'm not a historian, so that's as much as I can do, I think. In the following episodes, I will go issue by issue, problem by problem, war by war, maybe character by character, we will see. And I think we need a few separate talks about the wars and battles of that era, one or two on the religion and the slow emergence of fully organized church, a few talks on the migrations and so-called barbarian invasions, preferably going one talk per tribe, but that would be a little bit too difficult perhaps, so maybe I will bundle them together in a few, well, bundles, and one or two on general state of society and social institutions. So the plan is ambitious, like 10-parter at least. We will see. Lucky for me, today is a perfect time for a broad introduction, so I can be considerably less focused on one thing. Good for my scattered brain. So, where to start? Well, let's maybe start at the end. Why is this decisive and significant age so criminally overlooked? I believe it has something to do with one Edward Gibbon, an 18th century historian, the author of the History of the Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, a massive and fabled monography of exactly the times we are talking about here. We may not all be familiar with the book, but we all encountered the views and expressions taken from it, as it has been immensely influential. For example, Winston Churchill enjoyed reading and quoting it. Its dramatic descriptions of barbarian invasions were repeated ad nauseum throughout the 19th century, and it contained one key bit of narrative that was quite popular in the Gibbon's generation already and was later popularized as well as used in the ideological warfare of following centuries. The point was about Christianity being one of the main, if not the sole, reason of the decline of the Roman Empire. And really, you can still encounter people quarreling about it on various forums and Reddits and Twitters and whatnots. And that's weird. That is weird. That it still inspires emotions in some people. A problem from, 15 centuries ago? The sacred indolence of the monks, Gibbon writes, was devoutly embraced by a servile and effeminate age. So Christianity was a triumph of the quote-unquote wrong virtues, servilism, poverty, and chastity. Gibbon tried to be careful in his choice of words at times, but he clearly stated that the entire 1,000 years of history of the Eastern Roman Empire was one long period of decadence and corruption. Byzantine history is, of course, yet another thing, taking its roots from the days of late antiquity. Paired with Voltaire's views of Christianity's role in the dissolution of Roman civilization and Friedrich Nietzsche's summary of the problem in the Antichrist, blaming Christianity for the fall of Rome became a mainstream thing, and so the late antiquity and the Byzantine Empire became a stain on the history of the West, much less worthy of modern man's attention than the glorious days of the Roman Republic and Athenian democracy. I am not equipped to dispute with intellectual giants like Gibbon or, God forbid, Nietzsche at this time, but I must admit that a more favorable view of late antiquity seems impossible without at least a partial excuse for the secular and political power of the Christian Church, as its rise to power is one of the pivotal processes of that age. People like Saint Augustine of Hippo, Jerome or Origen, later known as the Church Fathers, were the thought leaders of the day. The obscure and bizarre to the modern sensitivity ideas of the Holy Trinity and the original sin were formulated by these very leaders. Christianity was persecuted in the classical times, so before our main interest, but the most radical and bloody persecutions happened relatively late, actually, in 260, under the rule of the Emperor Decius, something like this, and in 302 under Diocletian. The latter was the last state-ordained persecution, at least in Roman history, and probably the worst. So that's a good storytelling technique on history's part, especially that loving Jesus becomes legal only 10 years later and mandatory about 80 years after that. Well, not exactly mandatory, but it becomes the official state cult 8 years later. In the first years of the 6th century AD, the single most impressive and monumental temple in the known world is a Christian church dedicated to the divine wisdom, raised by the Emperor Justinian. The Christian Romans were not exactly adverse to some vengeance on the polytheistic Romans. Justinian ordered the closure of the Athenian Academy. Ancient statues of the old gods were often vandalized, desecrated, or stolen. It would be a mistake, however, to think that the dark and grim days of witch hunts and burning people at stakes started immediately and became a norm as soon as the Pope replaced the head of the traditional Roman cult. We are still hundreds of years ahead of the Crusades, and the worst thing that happened to the heretic Pelagius in that era was an early retirement in Alexandria, near the Great Library. And I can tell you, a lot of people would kill to get an early retirement in Alexandria, near the library. At that time, in the 4th and the 5th centuries, this ties into the church structure because it was actually not unified under one papacy. Not exactly. The time for these details will come in later, in some later episode. So the rise of Christianity was not a uniquely Roman thing. Before the tragic events of the 5th century AD, the Goths adopted this religion. However, the brand they got from the missionary was a different kind, different than what became mainstream later. They followed Arianism, and so did a few other Germanic tribes, such as the Vandals. Much later on, it will become a problem in the Vandal-Roman relations, leading to perhaps the first religiously motivated war in the history of Christianity. On the other hand, the shared faith probably helped saving some Roman lives in 410 AD, when the Visigoths under the king Alaric sacked and plundered the Eternal City. The event was shocking. So shocking it started waves of quarrels, accusations, and laments across the empire, and all the aforementioned church fathers had something bitter to say about that event. However, some civilian lives were spared from the bloodshed as they hid in the Christian churches of the city of Rome, and King Alaric, a Christian himself, ordered his men to leave the churches alone. This somewhat unexpected turn of events is discussed at length in Augustine's The City of God, where he claims the churches sheltered not only the Christians, but anyone seeking safety. Relatively humane stuff, considering the chaos and the bloodshed happening for years all around the known world, well, especially around the empire. For instance, in 406, multiple bands of Germanic warriors, probably coordinating the attack, crossed the river Rhine, the border of the Roman Empire in today's Germany. The Vandals, Alans, Suebi, and the Burgundians were among the attacking hordes. All of them later settled within the Roman borders, kick-starting their own kingdoms, after which some regions of Europe are named to this day: Burgundy in southern France, Andalusia from Vandalusia, from Vandals in southern Spain, Lombardy, after a much later invasion of the Longobards in northern Italy. The so-called Barbarian Invasions are a deliciously complicated subject, pretty far from the brain-dead depiction of them in the few movies, video games, or novels that actually try to depict them. For example, in 2001 movie Attila the Hun, it's a horrible movie, I do not recommend. The Goths are for some reason presented as foot soldiers wearing identical fur blankets or something like that, some fur thingies on their shoulders, and identical plain steel horned helmets. And I don't know what exactly it is with our imagination and horned helmets, but it's really absurd. And the actual Gothic warrior looked more like this. The Germanic and Roman warfare were no longer so different from one another. The old Roman infantry-oriented strategy was gradually replaced by cavalry. The soldier's equipment of a tribal warrior and a Roman soldier became more similar. The dwindling Roman economy became incapable of supporting the empire-wide, somewhat standardized arms production. Meanwhile, the so-called barbarians had centuries to learn and advance their own smithing techniques, as well as learn from the Romans. A lot of Roman soldiers were barbarians themselves. In fact, even the barbarian kings were often simultaneously the officers of the Roman army. And that's yet another long process behind it. The longer the empire lasted, the more foreigners, the more barbarians were enlisted as federati, as the allied protectors of the empire. Sometimes they were granted whole lands with their own king. Sometimes it was slightly more, slightly smarter, but the further we go into closer to the Middle Ages, the more and more there is fully settled tribes. It ties in with the fall of the economy, because there was less and less ways of making the military service attractive and rewarding as the economy dwindled. So, for example, the aforementioned king of the Visigoths, Alaric, was himself a soldier under a Gothic general in the Roman army. Later, an officer leading a crucial charge in the battle against the enemies of the Emperor Theodosius. The great Western Roman general Stilicho was half Vandal, married to the niece of the same Theodosius. Another Germanic officer of the Roman army, Odoacer, was the dude who sealed the dissolution of the empire in the west by sending the imperial insignia from Ravenna to Constantinople. A generation after the Visigothic sack of Rome under King Alaric, the Visigoths joined the Romans in the great battle against the Huns. The exchange of peoples and ideas between the Roman and Germanic worlds was going on for quite some time. Combine that with the commonality of religion between some Romans and some barbarians, the familial and political bonds between the Germanic leaders and the Roman aristocrats, and with the fact that many of the barbarian invaders were actually Roman allies called in to help the emperors in a civil war or in a war against other barbarians, and you will get a picture that is as complex and convoluted and messy as the diplomatic and dynastic machinations of the late medieval or early modern era. And one last key issue I'm going to talk about today is the stability, generally speaking, of the late Roman Empire, particularly the reasons behind and the process of dividing the empire into West and East. By itself, the division of 395 was nothing special or surprising. The empire used to be divided and then made whole again quite a few times in its long history. One division happened as a result of centralizing the autocratic reforms of Diocletian at the end of the so-called crisis of the 3rd century. Now, I know some history buffs may say, well, crisis of the 3rd century is not exactly real, it's a little bit of an exaggeration, it's a little bit of a myth. That is not concluded. The debate, I don't think, is exactly concluded. I am going with the idea that there was a huge depopulating crisis in the 3rd century, especially in the Balkans, which were actually important for the military. So, long story short, this long crisis resulted in the need of the central government operating faster and therefore dividing the empire into smaller bits, and that would be easier to manage. The system, known as tetrarchy, had 4 emperors, 2 main ones obliged to cooperate, and 2 supporting ones chosen by the main ones. This lasted until Constantine the Great, the dude who also legalized Christianity. After his death, there was a split again, and then it was unified briefly by one Julian the Apostate. Then there was a split again, and then Theodosius the Great unified it again. Apparently, simply holding the whole Roman mess together in one piece can earn you the rank of the Great. What made the partition of 395 unique was the fact that there was no reunification afterwards. Another problem was the growing cultural and economic gap between East and West, as the supposedly eternal city of Rome was gradually depopulating. As new seats of imperial power emerged in the west and the new Rome in the east grew rather rapidly, it was a rather realistic and pragmatic move to shift the center of the empire to the east legally, as Theodosius did, granting the Eastern Emperor the effective right to appoint his Western colleague. Some may think it was a horrible power grab. Edward Gibbon would think it was a horrible power grab on the part of the East. I would think that after at least two generations of steady growth of Constantinople, it was only reasonable to grant more power to the emperor who actually had the means and the ability to exercise said power and rule over a bigger chunk of empire. Rome was increasingly irrelevant and was sacked twice in several decades of the 5th century, and destroyed even harder by the Romans themselves in the Justinian War of Reconquest in the 6th century, at the very beginning of the 6th century, when the aqueducts were shut off. Horrible, horrible, barbaric, and that was Romans invading Italy, actually, fighting the poor oppressed Goths. Anyway, meanwhile, Constantinople stood strong and unconquered until 1204 AD, when it was sacked by those pesky, naughty crusaders. It was also perfectly situated for defense and trade. Its position on the map is one of the keys to the city's great career. All in all, the Theodosian partition helped the empire maintain some stability and preserve the most valuable lands, maybe at the cost of the lands that would likely be lost anyways. The empire was torn apart by great many other destabilizing factors of a much deeper and lasting severity than some administrative alterations. For example, the empire was always importing most of its luxury goods from the outside, while the main offer for the other empires was weapons, tools, metallurgy, generally speaking. As the technological gap between Rome and her neighbors diminished, so did its export. The Diocletian reforms and increasingly bureaucratic and top-heavy administration imposed heavy taxation, probably the most taxation the empire had ever had. This was likely devastating to the middle class. Well, it wasn't exactly a class-based society, but the closest equivalent of the middle class, and froze any social mobility. Some modern historians believe the early empire and the republic had a rather impressive upwards social mobility when compared to any other ancient societies. This advantage, that may be one of the roots of Rome's glory, was lost irreparably. Slavery was also undermined, which, long term, very good for us. That's great. That's absolutely great. Whenever slavery is undermined, my heart rejoice. However, unfortunately, the Roman economy was very much relying on slave work, and this was a dramatic change. As the empire ceased to expand, it also lost the easiest way of obtaining large groups of slaves. As the slave workforce dwindled, the taxes skyrocketed, and the middle class evaporated. Regional peace and prosperity became more and more dependent on the rich landowners capable of hiring large groups of people, and these landowners also started to finance private armies because, well, there was little money to finance the Roman army, less and less, and there was desertions and a great many problems, so private armies became a thing. Infrastructure, you have to repair this thing from time to time. That was also more and more dependent on the private people, land owners, the richest of the richest. So lots of it laid the foundations for feudalism later on. The same process increased the secular power of the church, as the Christian bishops, having some charitable donations at their disposal, were often more eager and more capable of negotiating in the name of their communities, renovating or building city walls and redistributing goods. Then the government appointed
officials. And I think this will have to suffice for now. You have the brief overview of the sorry state of the economy, you have the brief overview of the convoluted states of politics and military, and some very, very broad intro to the rise of the Christian Church as a political institution. So these will be the things around which the entire cycle of talks will be based. And let's hope somebody somewhere finds it interesting. And for now, let's go back to the game. Or why the hell not? Yeah, alright, good. Well, guys and girls, I am a proper Palatina legionary at this point, which means I am the protector of noble families and predominantly the emperor right now, officially. I have this gorgeous Cairo monogram, I believe this is how it's called, this neat Christian symbol. It's pretty. The most important part for me is that it is pretty. Whether or not it's a Christian symbol is a secondary problem. Look, there is no me, there is just my symbol and my shield. So, neat. And this is a very good gear I have got from my last promotion. This is a very good gear I've got from my last promotion. I think we can finish this episode here. Belisaurus is now, well, almost at the top of military hierarchy. I will try to get him to the point of being an officer, and then we will start our own campaigns, our own adventures, and hopefully the war against the Vandals will be over. The Vandals are in cahoots with the Visigoths right now. I'm afraid this is kind of similar to what happened historically, and which may cost the Western Roman Empire Gaul and the remaining lands in Spain. We will see. We will see how it goes. I don't even know if we are going to stay on the Western Roman side, or maybe we are going to betray them. Maybe we should join the Gepidæ, and maybe, just hopefully, I would really love to see this mod updated, because I know there is an update in preparation. That's what the ModDB page at least says, and it would be very nice to see the updated version with Huns and other factions implemented and with the religion implemented and such. And so far so good. We will see each other regardless of the update and anything else. We'll see each other the next time. I don't think this will be a very I don't think I will be doing this very frequently, but especially that preparing the education segment may take some time, but I think once a month, maybe twice a month, you can expect some of this. Right, this is enough of talking for now. We will see each other again, and bye-bye.